his dream got took from him, and me being the youngest of all my siblings, now it's like the weight is on me, so I have to be successful. You know, I'm the first of my household to graduate college, so I had to be the first one to do this, the first one to do that, the first one to make it. So from 10 years old, I had kind of like had that on my mind, just like, okay, now it's my time. Like, I gotta do it.
Hi, folks. I'm Cooper Moorhead, your host for the After the Buzzer podcast, presented by Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Miami Heat and Kaseya Center. Today, we have a great conversation lined up with the man behind the bark, Keshad Johnson. Let's not waste any more time and get right into it. Keshad, KJ, we're very lucky to have you. Thank you for coming on the show. We've got a lot to talk about. You are you're in the second year with the Heat, and I've always kind of explained it to people as there's like a 3-year developmental program with the Heat. Not that 3 years is your entire career, but first year guys come in, they learn the ropes. Spo always describes it as you're being fed with a water hose, fire hose rather. And then second year, some guys start to get rotation minutes, dip their feet in the water. Third year, some guys are ready for the rotation. Not that that's what the path everybody takes, but that's kind of the route. And you're in that second year, so we could be seeing some minutes from you going into the second year. But before we get into Heat stuff, basketball stuff, I want to know where the barking comes from. Because you are always barking. And it's not like you're barking at anybody, but you're barking, especially pregame. What's the barking?
It was, so when I was younger, I had a older friend. He knew how to bark like real loud, in Oakland. It's dogs everywhere. Everybody got a dog in their front yard and stuff like that. So he used to mess with the dogs, and I kind of like just developed it, like just knowing how to bark. And then as I got older, we started developing a dog mentality within sports. So I kind of like embodied that dog mentality within sports. And then like just when I bark, it's just, okay, the dogs are out. Like everybody get activated. Just something fun to do, kind of like.
Yeah. Do you ever bark at people on the court? Have you ever done that?
Nah.
Yeah. So I remember Kevin Garnett used to do that a couple times.
I actually have on a free throw for sure. I have did that. Matter of fact, yeah.
Well, you brought up Oakland, and I'm a West Coast guy, but I haven't spent a ton of time in Oakland or the Bay Area. Could you tell us a little bit about growing up there? What the city is like? When you're a kid, like what's a great day in Oakland that you remember?
So Oakland, I would say, we get overlooked within San Francisco, but I would like to say like Oakland is like the heart of the Bay Area. The heart of Bay Area culture is Oakland. Like if you think of the Bay Area, you think of West Oakland. I mean, you think of the West Coast, think of Oakland. Like that's where everybody get the swag from, the dance moves, all that kind of stuff. So I really value being from the town, as we call it, opposed from the city and other places in Oakland. But it's beautiful. Everything about it is beautiful. It's so much authentic love within the Oakland culture. I grew up a Warriors fan, just being at Roracle, they called it. It was just authentic, like authentic fan base, the energy, the crowd, the We Believe crowd that was going around at the time. Everything was so real, so that's just what Oakland provide. Oakland provide the love and authenticity.
So you were a Baron Davis, Steven Jackson, like that crew.
I was really a Monte Ellis guy.
Monte Ellis, okay.
But Baron Davis was a part of the group, but Monte Ellis was my number one guy.
Yeah, so you weren't on the Steph bandwagon. You were
Nah. I mean, of course, as Steph developed, like I became a Steph fan. Steph top 3, but Monte Ellis and LeBron number one and 1A, 1B.
What was that interview? Was it Monte Ellis Have It All?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. What's your favorite Warriors memory? Like a game you watched or anything like that?
Oh, favorite Warriors memory. Okay, so I would have to go with Stephen Curry hitting a almost half-court shot against OKC growing up. That was crazy.
When they were undefeated, right?
Yeah. So it was just the half-court like game winner, like where he shot the bomb. That was crazy. Yeah.
I think that got the double bang from Mike Breen at the time, right?
Yeah.
So go back to Oakland a little bit. You had a pretty big family. You got four siblings. Is that a competitive household?
So we all kind of like spaced out in ages. I'm the youngest out of all my siblings. I got 4 brothers, 1 sister. I'm the youngest. So like everybody kind of like spaced out. But when it comes to like video games, stuff like that, like family games, yeah, it get competitive. When dominoes, sister love dominoes, so yeah, we get loud, we get competitive for sure.
What other than dominoes? What game did you guys maybe get into fights over?
Speed. Me and my sister play Speed, like the card games. First one to get their hand off, and she always beat me. She gonna let me hear it too every time.
Yeah. So if you could, if you could tell us not just the story of your brother Kenny, but if you could share with us, and I think I'm a little reticent almost to ask about it sometimes because we can make these stories into just headlines, and they're more than headlines. They're experiences. It's you and your family. If you could recount your memory of that day, not just what happened to Kenny, but your experience of it.
Yeah. So that day was a significant part of my life. It kind of like just changed, I grew up so fast from that day.
You were 10 years old, right?
I was 10 years old. So he was 14 as well. He was in the 8th grade. And then he was a victim of gun violence. He was shot 10 times. Just coming from his friend house, at the age of 14, you develop muscles. And at the time in Oakland, there was a lot of gang violence, between neighborhood to neighborhood. And, you just start to look apart once you get the age of 14. You start looking like a young man.
So wrong place, wrong time.
Wrong place, wrong time, mistaken identity. And then we got the call that morning. And then, like, from there, after just hearing all the news that happened, like, I just grew up. Like, I knew that life was short. Anything can happen in your life, So never take life for granted. Like, build your character. Love everybody, because you never know when your life could be taken from you. So just never take life for granted and learn. Learn as much as you can from the good situations and the bad situations. Find your identity.
When you say you had to grow up fast, I mean, you're 10 years old, but all of a sudden do you feel like you have to even just have a different role in the house, right?
Absolutely.
Just to support your parents as well. Right?
So when that happened, it was like he was going to be the one. Like, he was going to be the one to take sports serious, take sports all the way. But his dream got took from him, and me being the youngest of all my siblings, now it's like the weight is on me, so I have to be successful. I'm the first of my household to graduate college, so I had to be the first one to do this, the first one to do that, the first one to make it. So from 10 years old, I had kind of like had that on my mind, just like, okay, now it's my time. Like, I got to do it.
You say that casually, but that's heavy too, right?
Yeah,
that's a lot to take in.
No, for sure. It's heavy, but like, it's heavy, but you have no choice. So it's like, not just like, I got all this weight on me. It's like, no matter how much weight on me, I'm going to still get it done just because I have to.
So I was going to ask when you started to take basketball seriously, but it sounds like you started taking it very seriously around that time.
Around that time, I start really like just dialing in on like, okay, now this is a game that I got to start really locking in on. Of course, you get better, you grow more and all that. So instead of like taking it serious, like now it's going to be a job. Like now you're getting college offers. So now it's really, really serious. You never know how good you're really going to be within the age of 10 to about 14. But once you hit high school and you start going on AAU trips and you start growing, you start going amongst the best players in the country, then you really got to lock in. So
do you remember the first time you got like a college started talking to you?
Yeah. So, I would say the first time I started talking to me was kind of like later when I was about 16. I got a call from Portland and also Fresno State. They called like the same day. But before that, played 15U. I was playing with the Oakland Soldiers and we played against Team CP3, 15U. And those guys, they was just jumping out the gym and all that. But I can jump myself too. So I just knew I was amongst the right crowd once I was able to compete with guys from out of the state. Like, this was my first time on the circuit competing against the guys out of the state, and I was like, yeah, I'm here to stay within the best players in the country. So
I had the opposite experience. I was playing AAU, and I got against some teams that were playing like that, and I was like, this is not going to be my future, right? Which turned out that worked out as well. But you also transferred high schools in your senior year. I'm curious as to what goes into a decision like that.
So at the high school I went to Envision Academy. It's a small charter school in downtown Oakland. It's a public school and everything, but it was more of a school of arts. Like, go to school for acting, go to school for doing like digital things. Or
were you taking acting classes at the time?
So I did a little good job at acting my acting class. So that's something I really kind of like took serious to, acting. So I might have a future in that within basketball.
Bad Boys 5 or something.
Exactly, something like that out there in Miami. But so I just knew within my development in basketball and my skill set, I knew I had to do something better for myself to prepare myself for college. You know, I knew I wasn't, like for me to go to college, it wasn't going to be from just arts, like skill of arts. It was going to be from my basketball ability. So I had to transfer schools, and San Leandro High ended up transferring to San Leandro High because after me and my family moved from Oakland, we moved to San Leandro. So San Leandro High was just closer to my home that I stayed at the time. And then also had friends that went there too. So going to a bigger public school and going into a bigger league that's better, that just kind of like got me a little bit more ready for the next level than me staying at a small charter school in a charter league.
Well, we may have missed out on the thespian career of Keshad Johnson. Maybe that's something he can get back to down the line. But in the meantime, we are about to discuss all the big life choices, those big life decisions that he made to get to this point, and how they're all paying off right now on this episode of After the Buzzer, presented by Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Miami Heat and Kaseya Center. Looking at your college career, you went to SC State at first. It looks like, you know, obviously I haven't watched all of your games, but there was a bit of an adjustment process for you there. What was that process like, just getting used to college life and the college game? Yeah,
so my foundation at San Diego State is everything. Like, I'm so grateful for that I started my career and graduated from San Diego State. Shout out to the coach, Brian Dutcher, and the coaching staff there. Like, they helped me grow as a young man, like knowing myself as a young man. On the basketball side, with that team, I did everything I needed to do, opposed to just being the best role player as possible. You know, starting from my first year, just learning from the guys that we had an undefeated year, 30-2. We like to believe that we was going to win the national championship until COVID happened and everything. So just seeing all of that stuff, and then me growing to all the way my senior year, we making it to the national championship. Just me, how I grew as a role player and got better each and every day, every year, on knowing who I am, knowing my position. And then I just knew I had more in the tank, more left. So within that, I knew I had to spread my wings and transfer, go somewhere to where I can be that guy that can do more, showcase more in order to go to the NBA. And that's what led to Arizona.
So when you were choosing Arizona in that fifth year, and it was because you had the extra eligibility,
correct,
because of COVID, did you already feel like the NBA was in your future?
Absolutely.
At that point? Yeah.
Absolutely. Like throughout college, I just knew, like, I'm an NBA player. I just got to showcase it. I got to, like, prove to the executives or whoever it is that I can play in the NBA. And within doing that, I just needed to take the next step and go to somewhere where I can show that I can space the floor and show more of my skill set, rather than just showing all the gritty work that I put in, which I did at a high level at San Diego State.
So our fans, they know that you and Pelle played together, and you guys are tight, but I'm curious, just beyond the fact, and it is unusual for college teammates to end up as rookies with the same team. It's pretty cool. But is there friendly competition? Is there a rivalry in some ways between the two of you?
Absolutely. So with me and Pelle, when it comes to like iron sharpen iron, that comes into play every day. You know, we play one-on-ones. Pelle always going at me. Like, he go at me, like he's
got the shoulder going in your chest
every time. You know, he don't never take no days off, no matter who's in front of him. And when it's always good to go up against somebody like that that's gonna test you. You know, so I'm pretty sure he probably got the same outlook on me, and so on and so forth. Just having somebody that's gonna make you better. That's Pelle Larson for sure.
He said you guys went bowling, and he is the better bowler. What do you have?
Nah, he got that. He got like the touch. You know, they say you spin it, you throw the ball like you opening the bottle cap. I just cuff it and roll it. So
I'm straight. I was straight
line drive. So yeah, he got that.
What do you beat him at off the court?
Man, Pelle good at everything. I'm not gonna lie. He got everything. So
you guys got to play speed together. Then.
Now, if we talking about 2K or something, I probably got the video games. But in terms of all the other games, like golfing, Pelle good at golfing. You know, soccer, all that good stuff. So
I got you. Well, at least you got 2K, right? Right. Your rookie season in the NBA, I'm curious as to what. There was a lot of developmental time playing with Sioux Falls, and like we talked about before, the Heat have their program,
right?
And it's been going on for a long time. There's a lot of success stories, so it's probably easier to buy in knowing that these other guys have done what I've done before me. But what was the toughest lesson you think you had to learn during your rookie year?
I learned that it was just it's a business within everything. You know, we had trades happening this year, building a relationship. I learned that it was a business, and I learned that I always have to stay ready. You know, just from us being in Sioux Falls, going to Miami, that's a hassle sometimes. Just being able to have to play a game, and now you got to take 2 flights to go down there and play another game. Be ready for practice, do whatever the task is in front of you. So all of that, just staying ready for the opportunity, no matter what adversity you're going through, and without making any excuses.
Yeah, I don't ever want to put a guy in a box, especially at your age. There are archetypes within the league. You know, there's 3-and-D is like this big box, but then there's branches off of everything, and some guys are one thing or another. You're very early. We don't know yet, I think, what you're going to be, but is there a player that you look to as inspiration for, like, that guy carved out a role in a career, I can follow what he did in his footsteps?
Man, the list goes on and on with that. That's like, it's so many players I could say. Elite role players, you know, as Andre Iguodala, Arizona guy, shout out to him. The way he embodied his role as he got older in his career, I could just follow those footsteps. You know, guys like Trevor Ariza, forwards, the list goes on and on. Guys like even Josh Hart, you know, he's a shorter guy.
Great rebounder.
Great rebounder. Yeah. The way he impact winning. So anybody that can impact winning is kind of like somebody I take away from. And the guys that just do the gritty work, the garbage work that don't nobody else want to do, whatever it takes, you know, even if it don't show up on the stat line.
Iguodala is one of the best. Like, he had a star athleticism and skill set.
Exactly.
Unbelievable.
I'm not trying to discredit the all-star years he had either, though.
Yeah.
So,
but once you find that role, especially, it's the same thing with Aaron Gordon, right? Denver,
Aaron
like
Gordon,
the Magic
that's
years.
A good one. Exactly.
I'm curious as to a couple things before we finish up. What is the best play you think you've ever made in your basketball career? Not necessarily with the Heat, but everybody's got, especially if you're having, like, you mess up on the court and you think you got that play on repeat in your head, right?
Oh, man. Okay, so it's 2 of them. So in high school, San Leandro versus Bishop O'Dowd. It was at our home. Mind you, these are our rivals. So every game we played 3 games. They got us 2-1, but every game was a 1-point game, 1 or 2-point game. So it was, somebody got a block, then I got like the outlet pass, took a couple dribbles, and I took off outside the lane on the right wing, and kind of dunked it almost. I would like to say like free throw line-ish, like distance wise. And then that's one. And then second one is Summer League against Boston. In the third quarter, got a deflection. Somebody got a deflection. I picked it up. We had 4 seconds on the clock, took a couple dribbles, look at the clock. Clock was moving in slow motion. So I'm like, I could actually go for it. I could go for it. So just took off from far distance, buzzer beater, dunk, smashed it.
Detonated.
Yeah, detonated, exactly. Yeah. So that's one that I hold heavy in my heart too, in my mind.
Must be a great feeling having a play like that. If you look back, and if you can fast forward 10 years from now, and I ask this because of where you are in your career now, it's almost like a time capsule question. If you're in the league for 10 years, 15 years, that for a lot of guys is a great career. But beyond just longevity, if you could look back that long from now, what do you want to have accomplished?
Longevity, I just want to accomplish the fact that I was an excellent teammate, excellent winner, excellent teammate. Somebody can look at me and say, he did everything, he did most things right. You know, he didn't really have any mess ups, but everything he did, it was a selfless play, you know, a selfless player all in all, along with just me embodying culture, embodying just being a good dude on and off the court.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that. I've been around the league a decent bit now, and you see other players. And obviously, if a legend Hall of Famer walks in the room, everybody looks at that guy. But it's so fascinating to watch when a beloved role player, and everybody loves those guys. You know, like if Robert Horry walks into a room, everybody's like, "That's my guy," and they get treated. Maybe they don't have the notoriety or the legendary status, but within the community, right? Everybody loves them and everybody remembers them for exactly what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
The guys who were always there doing the things they needed to do. Last question, and this can be hard. We'll see how easy it is for you. You cannot name Heat teammates. Okay? Your 4 favorite players of all time. I'm assuming there's going to be some Warriors on there.
For sure. LeBron, Monte Ellis, Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Tracy McGrady.
You went 5. We'll give you an extra one.
Oh, my bad.
No,
Yeah. Throw that in there. Throw that in there.
A lot of Warriors, but give me McGrady is a guy you haven't talked about. What did you love about McGrady?
McGrady, he just, I'm a 2K player, so McGrady, he does everything on 2K. He can do everything along with the height. He's kind of just electric. Like, he's one of those electric players as a young guy, just watching him just with the Rockets and all of that. So he was just electrifying. You see him, he do crazy things.
Man, you're making me feel old.
And I wasn't really a Kobe fan like that too. So so I was a LeBron fan. So, we go against Kobe as a LeBron fan, just how it is. So instead of rooting for Kobe, I rooted for T-Mac. T-Mac was that kind of like that 2 guard that filled in that spot for me.
Man, and it's funny you reference him as a Houston Rocket player instead of like I would to me it's Magic, right? Yeah. But we all grew up at a different time. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been awesome, ladies and gentlemen. Keshad Johnson, it's been great. It's been great having you around the team. Everybody loves having you around, but we really look forward to seeing what you do on the court, not just this year, but in years to come.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, I hope you've all enjoyed this conversation with Keshad Johnson on this episode of After the Buzzer, presented by Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Miami Heat and Kaseya Center. Please remember to like and subscribe on YouTube for all notifications for upcoming content, and we've got plenty more on the way. In the meantime, thanks for watching and take care.